Are you struggling with all the changes that are going around and swirling about you in today's world? A lot of us are. Let me help you with that. My name's Dane Campbell. I'm a retired Air Force officer and a social worker, and I have been helping people with change for 3 decades now, and I've seen thousands of people come into my life that have struggled with change, and many of them I've been able to help them negotiate how that change affects them and what they can learn from it and get out of it. When I think about change, I think of change in a couple of different ways. Oftentimes change happens to us. And what I mean by that is that there can be circumstances that come into our lives that we have no control over, and we find that we must change because of those circumstances. A couple of examples of this might be a death in the family, or maybe someone loses a job, or maybe the job makes you move, or a number of different things that can happen in your world, in your sphere of influence, that drives and pushes you to make changes that maybe you wouldn't have chose otherwise if those circumstances had been different. There's also change that we make because of our own choices. Sometimes we may do behaviors that we feel like get in the way of us having peace or happiness in life. Maybe we drink too much, or maybe there's other habits that we do that we feel like doesn't give us exactly what we want in life, but it's hard to stop doing those things because they're habits. Maybe there are things we wish we did more of, like spending more time with loved ones, or listening better, or even exercising or eating in a different way. We feel like that could make us feel happier or bring us more peace. And all of those changes are great, but those are things we choose to change about ourselves. And those are also good things that we can do to help ourselves in our existence to find greater peace and greater happiness. Sometimes people give up on change in these kinds of ways too early because they don't understand the process, or maybe it becomes what they feel is too difficult to make those adjustments, or to push against the cycle of habits that have been ingrained in their life. A lot of times maybe people bite off a bigger piece than will allow them to be successful, and so they get overwhelmed and they set that by the wayside because it's too difficult. Look, I want you to know that none of us were born with the answer in how to change effectively. Some of us may be able to do it a little bit easier than others, but the bottom line is most people can be successful in change if they take it in small steps, if they learn about the process, and they can identify what those obstacles might be beforehand, and then find ways that are creative and effective to overcome those obstacles. So I don't want you to give up when you're faced with changes, and I don't want you to give in when some of those changes that come into your life that you have no power to stop might be a little bit overwhelming. I'm here to help you. I want to talk through these issues with you and give you some really pretty basic and elementary ways of dealing with change in a way to make it benefit you. First of all, let's just accept that change is going to happen. It's really one of the only constants in life. Just in the time that I've talked with you, I've aged a little bit, and that has changed. Just in the time that I've talked with you, maybe I've introduced some new ideas to you, and that will have changed the way that you think about things, even if it's in a tiny way. So change is going to happen, and I'm here to help you make it happen more effectively, and hopefully in a way that will bring greater peace and happiness to you in your life. You found Change with Dane. I hope that you'll like and subscribe, and I hope that you'll let me help you with change. Take care.